So the message of today is, I do not care what they have tried to do. I do not care what they have said about you. I do not care who they know and what they have and what connections they think they have to try to stop you from being, doing, and having. Fear does not exist in your reality. They've done everything. You're still here. You might as well get on purpose, put your foot on the gas, or die trying. That's the message. That is your message. Go all out. Whatever they're going to do, whatever plots, whatever schemes, whoever they talk to, who cares? You need to become the person that you've always wanted to connect with. A lot of people sitting around waiting on the right connection. You need to become the connection. You need to become the connection. You got the plug. God is the plug. Okay. I remember I put up something and I said, the person that you're waiting for is already there. The connection that you're desiring, you are the connection. And God is the plug. Just plug into God for the vitality or for the electricity that you need and just go. Some woman came into my comments and said, this don't make no sense. But I know she only said that because I look pretty in the video. Okay. I'm just keeping it 100. She only said that so she could sit in the comments for somebody to click on her name and go to her page and see what she's talking about. She came to my page, disregarded my message because I looked pretty in that video. I know I did. I took some time that day. So all I'm saying here is that people will be mad at you when you show up as your best, when you live outside of the stereotypes that they've created for you, the narrative that they've created for you, and they will be mad that you have become the crystallized example that lives outside of the narrative they created for you. If they said that you broke, you ain't nothing, you ain't all of that. I've talked about this before. People only say these type of lies about you because they've tried to create restrictions in your life, get you fired everywhere you go. So if a person say you broke and you ain't got nothing, they've tried to get you fired everywhere you go. Or they've tried to, lie to your clients or your customers or give you bad reviews to try to make it seem like you're not producing what you're obviously producing. And so they want to discourage you so you can stop. So you will be broke and you don't have no money, so that the narrative fits. If people say, oh, you're not that pretty, or she's not all of that, or he's not all of that attractive, that's what they fear the most, that people see you as attractive or appealing. So they have tried to stress you out so you can age, or your cortisol levels will increase, and that you will be big as a house and you'll emotionally eat carbs and all kind of fast food and junk food. Or they stress you out and you will lose so much weight to where now you're so small, you don't have any definition, you're not really proportioned or anything like that. This overall thing is about the thing that they've lied the most on is the thing that they fear you showing up as the most. So if people have tried to make it seem like you're not as attractive, get more attractive. You don't have no money, you're broke and you're not successful, get more successful. You don't talk to nobody, get more social, but purposeful socialization, which means that if there's conferences, get your butt to those conferences. If there are seminars, get your butt to those seminars. We're not talking about going to a bar, going to the club. That is fruitless. Connections is what you need. Whatever they said that you are not, that's what they feared the most. Find out what they're complaining about, find out what they're trying to say, and then just operate in reverse. Become the best that you've ever looked. Try to touch the most money you've ever touched. Try to make the most purposeful connections you've ever made. And when it comes to this dating thing, oh my God, don't get me started about that. Because even that is a very serious obsession with people who don't want to see you loved because you're so lovable. They want you with bums, okay? They want you with bums. They want you with abusers. They want you with users. They want you with exploiters. Whatever you do, do not get desperate to try to prove people that you're lovable by getting yourself caught up with some knucklehead or somebody that's not even on your caliber. Okay? To be sexy, to be attractive, to be successful without being tied to some usurping narcissist, that is what make people more angrier than you just being tied up with somebody that I'm just being real. Not even on your level. Not even on your level. So don't try to prove people wrong in that arena to where you start just tying yourself up with anybody. I believe that is when it comes to your love life and all of that type of stuff, wait on God. Wait on God for a purposeful partnership in that arena. Wait on an anointed, purposeful partnership. Because when that do pop off, if it is God's will for you to have that, when I tell you it's going to produce even more fruit to what God is already doing in your life right now. You're going to have more than you've ever had. He who finds a wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. But it's not even just that. It's also a blessing to a woman to have a dog, a big dog on her side that don't fear nothing either. Okay? When you yourself don't fear nothing and nobody, you need to be trying to get you, if it is in God's will for you to have a romantic partnership. I don't do the romantic partnership thing, but purposeful partnership in terms of equally yoked alignment with somebody that don't fear nothing either and live his life under the governing of God. Big dog status. Don't care who you know, what you got, don't care. Okay, he's going to cover and protect you. And if he's not on that type of time, ladies in particular, don't waste your time. Okay, with these effeminized men who come to kill, steal, and destroy from you and challenge you and compete with you and break you down and dumb you down and shrink you down and take. Okay, so I just have to make sure I say that. That's important. That was really on my heart. Okay, because I'm very passionate about these men who are not in alignment with what God has for your purpose. Because the whole overall goal is to expand upon the kingdom of God. And if it's not about that, it's not about anything anyway, for real. So set aside from that. Money. Let's get to the money. Let's get to the money. Let's get to the money. Money is a currency. That is what we all know. And currency means it flows, right? So money is just energy, right? Before you can get to some real money, which is what a lot of people fear you getting to, your intelligence translating into some money, your creativity turning into some money, your beauty and handsomeness turning into some money, your charm and your communication turning into some money. People fear that because they're locked into this reality. All they care about is the bag and things and consumerism and stuff. They believe that this reality and how much stuff you can acquire is what makes you successful. So they fear that all of your ability is going to lead to a very big bag. That's what they really, really don't like. Okay. That beauty, that the charisma, that your wit, your smarts, your personality is going to lead to you some big money. And this is what they have been after for a very long time in your reality. When people say, oh, what is this inheritance thing? I've talked about this before. Could be a real inheritance, could not be, could just be spiritual. But even if it's spiritual, it's going to lead to a real inheritance because it's energy. Okay, your energy and your essence and your embodiment, it turns into a tangible, materialized thing. And so many people have been after your spiritual currency in hopes that it will never turn into physical currency, money on, abundance, prosperity, finances. Because in this reality, finances can equal status. Finances can get you into places and rooms that people could only imagine. Okay? But what if I told you that you can get into places and in connections with people that they only can see in their dreams, even without money? And once you get there, it's going to translate into money. How do we get there without money? Embodiment. Embodiment. I've talked about this so much, and I'm going to keep talking about it until we all become the thing that we desire. Embodiment. Before the currency becomes a physical thing in your bank account, it has to become an actual thing in yourself. You don't need money to go for a 3-4 mile walk every day. You don't. You don't. You just need to get outside of comfort. The stuff that you really don't want to do is the things that's going to put you light years ahead of people that don't want you to have the things that they fear you having the most. And it does not cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to go talk to people of purpose. It just costs you, it doesn't cost you anything, but it just takes audacity. Okay. You know how many phone calls I've made and didn't know nobody? You know how many places I've gotten dressed up for and just went to the place and just act like I know somebody, or talk to the receptionist, or talk to the person that was the host there, and act like I'd been knowing these people my whole life. I just use familiarity, commonality, and common courtesy to get me into places I never thought that I would be and didn't know nobody. I just use human commonality, familiarity, things that all human beings have in common. And I've taken the tone of relatability. Didn't cost me anything to talk to these people. You understand me? Didn't care, just had the audacity. I've taken a lot of L's that I didn't deserve to take, but I needed to take so that I could understand this aspect of survival in this social society. So after you take so many L's and you've fallen so many times and you fail a lot, you start to learn like there is nothing here that I need to fear. I just need to keep getting my butt up and having the audacity go talk to that person, go do, go to that side of town, look this certain way, and have something to offer, right? It's not just pretending and performing and being all performative. I have the stuff that I need. Like Reverend Ike say, with the stuff I use, you can't lose. So there's a lot of things that we have, but we just don't have the opportunity. We don't have the right yes to get us through the door. And so I know I have what it takes. I can produce on a high level. You just need that one yes. And so if you know that you have the stuff, but you don't know the person, and you just need that one, then you need to be having the audacity every day of your life to go there, to see who I need to talk to. And a lot of that takes research and studying. If you want to be somewhere in life and you know that you have the ability and the capability to produce, to show that you are an asset and not a liability, go research who you want to talk to. How can I get in that room? Once you go research, go find out who they are. Where do they come from? What is their resume? Get familiar with the person. So if the opportunity presents itself for you to ever be in that room and talk to that person, you know them. You know of them. You know their story, right? So it's not like you a clout chaser or somebody just trying to get on. People like to feel seen and heard, even if they're uber duper successful. Because there's a lot of people who respect their status but don't respect them, don't respect their story, doesn't respect where they come from or anything. But for you to know people and their testimony, that makes them feel even more visible. Not for the opportunity to brown nose, but to just say, I'm truly inspired. I saw your story. It moved me so much that it made me want to rearrange and shift my life. And I just thank you for being an inspiration. This is me. My name is such and such, and this is what I do, whatever. But people want to know that you know of them, right? Nobody wants to be used and exploited, obviously, not even people who are very successful and have a whole lot of money. So I said all of that to say the thing here is that there's stuff from back there, okay, that has caused you trauma, and places from the past that has tried to rob you of your confidence so that you believe that you'll never have, you'll never be, and you'll never get to where you're supposed to be in life. And I'm telling you today that you need to cut the strings on your past. Just cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Okay? Cut the strings. Cut the voices off. Cut the trauma out. Damn all that. Yes, it happened. I survived. I've conquered it. I don't care. Time does not equal an apology. I don't care about those people. I don't care about those places. I don't care about those things. I don't care what they're saying. I don't care. I have a burning desire to be, to do, and to have. And I'm going to get it. And I'm not going to stop until I have what I know that I deserve in this lifetime.